People would rather start a podcast recapping all of the Fast and Furious movies under the pseudonym Vin D's Nuts than research mental health resources in their own community.
People would rather create an elaborate ranking system for every shape of pasta than try meditation.
People would rather put their entire fists in their mouth and open their hands rather than even try yoga, even though that may technically be yoga.
But I say,
why not both?
Why not both?
Why not both?
The people out there who are dealing with mental health challenges and you haven't taken the first step to try and address any of that, sometimes it's just about reaching out to a friend.
It doesn't matter what you feel like you're ashamed or thought of or done, somebody else out there has done that.
I wish the world understood that mental health isn't something you can shrug off and that happiness isn't always just some simple choice.
I didn't want to go on mood stabilizers because I thought they would change me as a person or I wouldn't be able to do as much. The opposite has been true. It does have some side effects, but I've been able to have the stability to have a long-term relationship, have a TV show, things that I wouldn't have been able to do with my mood going up and down and up and down.
You know what makes me happy sometimes? Sitting and watching other people be happy. Like sometimes I can just sit in a park and just stare at strangers and eat a slice of pizza. I don't know how it feels for the people who I'm staring at, but I try to do it from a safe distance.
Sometimes when I'm feeling especially down, I will open up my handy Microsoft Word document of all the nice things people have said to me. It is pretty long, not to brag.
Have you ever thought of getting an old dog? Best decision I have ever made. So loving, so low energy. You don't want to go for a walk? They don't either.
Don't worry about where you've been or where you want to be. Just take it from where you're at right now, one day at a time.
And we're asking you to take 1 or 2 actions toward improving your mental health.
You can find a therapist or start a meditation practice.
Join a peer support group or reach out to a friend.
You can also do whatever unique technique helps you get your mental health back on track.
Go to mentalhealthishealth.us for more information.
Yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. I don't know. I feel like it's weirder to not have anxiety than to have it, because I feel like if you're not scared, you're not paying attention, you know? Like, I feel like if you open a newspaper today, skim maybe 3 headlines, you're just like, seems cool. It's like, what? Everything's on fire. Even the newspaper is on fire. Like, what are you so chill about? And you know, sometimes when you tell people you have anxiety, they're always like, well, you know, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. It's like, okay, have you checked out some of fear's work? It's like pretty much churning out solid gold hits, making some great points, rarely misfires. And like, if you don't have anxiety, the way I would describe it is like there's an edgy improv group in your brain. And it just needs like a 1-word suggestion to spin like countless scenarios that no one's comfortable with. Like the whole time you're just like, when will this show be over? I just came to be supportive. None of these thoughts have a future. And, you know, I have all kinds of anxiety. I have social anxiety, which is ironically one of the most relatable kinds. It's a little weird. Sometimes mine will get so bad, I can't even talk to babies without getting self-conscious. Yeah, like the whole time I'm just like, oh, what if I'm not an interesting shape or color, you know? It's like, make a fist, try to relate, take out your keys. Meet them on their level. Yeah, social interaction is terrifying. I also hate this one. I hate when you're going in for the handshake, but the other person is going in for the fist bump, and then you realize you're in front of a mirror and you don't know who you are anymore.
Had anxiety though, real anxiety. And I don't have the kind of friends and family who can have anxiety. You know, but I haven't. Bad. But I was born with it. As soon as I came out of the womb, shit hit the fan. I was born with my thumbs flexed in on both hands. At first, the doctors thought I had no thumbs. They didn't think just turn his hand over. There's his thumb. No, they went 0 to 100. My mother thinks she has this beautiful little baby boy. Doctor's like, yeah, not so fast, lady. Your kid's got no fucking thumbs. So we don't know what he's gonna do without the thumb. He's genuinely not a human. I mean, he can't manipulate objects, you know? Pens, pencils, crayons. He can scoop shit. Yeah. He'll be good at scooping and or squeezing. Those are thumbless activities we've identified as strengths. Yeah. Pretty much anything else done. Super Bowl parties, pull a little salsa con queso. There you go. Dip hand. Just walk around, Tostito scoop hand. Yeah. But real anxiety, you know. Now I told you my daughter, you know, she could talk now. Any day she's gonna ask me, Daddy, are monsters real? I'm gonna be like, probably. You know? I don't have friends where you can have anxiety. Like I said, I hang out with like real, like guys like you can't have anxiety. I can't fucking come to you with my anxiety. Fucking, you tell me to go suck a dick. That's what you tell me to do. Like, listen, why don't you go blow something? Like, you know? I know you would, and it's hurtful. I'm like, yeah. You know, all my friends, cops, firemen, criminals, they don't understand. I was like, I have anxiety. They're like, anxiety's for the Democrats. I'm like, what? I don't know. Go ask Hillary about your anxiety. That's what one of my friends told me. One of my friends is a fireman. He's got like 5 medals for pulling people out of fires. If you knew his political views, you'd be like, just let me burn. You'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, sir. When you go, yeah, go make the firehouse great again. I'm fucking, you know, you'd be like, I'm good. But it's, you know, one of those tough guy families that I'm tough. I'm not really tough. Like, I look tough. Like, sometimes people are like, oh, you're in shape. I'm not. If I took my shirt off right now, I look like the melting candle from Beauty and the Beast. Just rows of tits. Just look like a pregnant pit bull. I can hide it, shoulders, but I'm just soft, you know? Yeah. Been eating a lot of sweets. I got a size 38 waist. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Thunder thighs. Yeah. 38 waist, 32 length. What kind of dimensions are those? I mean, I feel like a Midwestern stepmom, you know? I go to the Gap, I'm like, do you have 38, 32? They're like, no, we don't, Diane, okay? Why don't you have another fucking crepe, fatty pants, bitch hips? You're eating your feelings. Like my grandpa, very tough man. He actually fought in World War II. So did everybody's grandpa, right? That's like not a big deal. That was just a war of all grandpas. Like, my grandpa was in the mafia. True blue, yeah, true mafia guy. Okay. That's not using it wrong. I thought you would woo, but that was a soft woo, too. It was like, woohoo. I'm writing the expose on the mafia. That's what it sounded like. Can I talk to you for my research? Yeah, mafia. But fought in World War II, which I always thought was interesting. It's like, you're a criminal, you're in the mafia, but then you're gonna go fight in the war? You're not good with authority. Like, it's interesting. Like, he was probably annoying on the battlefield. Anything the general said, my grandpa was like, yeah, how about no? How about, yeah. Why don't you go do it, Eisenhower? Not my fucking cat. Probably showed up to every battle, like, not even wearing the uniform. He's just out there on, like, a wife beater with a sauce stain. No gun. Everyone else got an AK-47 assault rifle. This guy's out there with a fucking baseball bat. You know, just... What do you need me to do? What, kill people? That's what I do. No, yeah. Nah, don't worry. I'll make the whole thing look like an accident. All right, so just... Who needs to go bye-bye? Just, yeah. Walked up to German tanks, flicking cigarettes at them. United States of Mario. It's who's here now. Okay, yeah. It's like, Grandpa, you don't have to put the bodies in the trunk of the tank. Okay, just shoot them, move up the beach, and let's...
Yeah, I think it's hard for black men especially to talk about depression because we have so many cool words available to us to undermine how we really feel, you know? Like a couple years ago, I was having some suicidal thoughts and depression, so I checked myself into a psych unit, and I know you guys are looking at me like, Jordan, but you're so handsome and well put together, but you know what they say, black don't crack, only psychologically. I got out of the psych unit, and a friend of mine was like, are you okay, man? Is everything all right? But I had so many cool words available to me. I was like, yeah, I was just tripping. But I wasn't just tripping. I had a severe mental breakdown. If anything, I might have been bugging, but I wasn't tripping. People have weird beliefs. I think it's funny how some people don't believe in depression but believe in Jesus. Like, Jesus was depressed. Like, he washed people's feet using his hair and tears. If you had a friend who washed people's feet using his hair and tears, you'd be like, at least I'm doing better than Jesus. Also, there's a scripture in the Bible that just says, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. That means somebody saw him crying and was like, yup. That's what he's doing. Try to help him at all. That's why I don't read the Bible, just a lot of bad friends. I read the Bible, that verse was like, Jesus wept. And then I went and asked him if he was all right. And he said it's not one big thing, just a lot of little small things. There's no notes on here. All it says is, you did great. Thank you. I'm John Zebo.
What's up? I'm Hanna Dickinson, and I'm hosting tonight's Stand Up for Your Mental Health. Comedy Central wanted a celebrity, but they were all busy performing stand-up. And since I've been to rehab, Comedy Central was like, good enough. According to legal, I have to be very clear that I actually went to rehab and I'm not just using it as a cheap punchline, which I would never do because rehab is very expensive. According to my dad, it's just as much money as my wedding could have been. At least my breathing techniques will for sure last forever. Looking at your physical health can mean a lot of things. Exercising, eating healthy, remembering to drink water, seeing a doctor if you don't feel well, things I don't really do. Likewise, there are things you can do every day to take care of your emotional health, and you don't have to wait until you're overwhelmed. Tonight, we're going to hear about mental health issues from the opposite of professionals, comedians. Sure, we can't tell you what's wrong with you, but we can make jokes about what's wrong with us and hope you can relate. This past year and a half of isolation has been really hard on people's mental health. I literally was so desperate to eat dinner with someone, I bought a dog. Tonight is about raising awareness for mental health because everyone has it, up or down, depending on the day, even time of day. I know personally for me, it's 6 p.m. every day. I have this internal alarm that goes off and it's like, you're alone. I literally bought a dog just so I have warm breath on the back of my neck so I could drift off to sleep the natural way. My point is, everyone has a unique set of circumstances, but reaching out for help and talking to people is the best way to not feel so alone. Therapy is great, and while it can be very expensive, there are many affordable options. There are a lot of things you can do to take action for your mental health that are easy and accessible. For ways to take care of your own mental health and support others, visit mentalhealthishealth.us. To get things started on a therapeutic note, here's Giamarco Soresi.
I'm still seeing my therapist over Zoom, and it's weird. I don't like it. Because I've never seen inside my therapist's apartment before with her knowing. And she's one of those Freudian therapists where, like, every time I ask her a question, she twists it into a question about me. Like, I asked her, I was like, when are we gonna start meeting in person again? And she was like, why are you under my bed? I think everyone should be in therapy, especially more men need to be in therapy. Yes. But they're very reluctant. Men are very reluctant. My best friend, his name is Josh. He's my age. He just went through his second divorce. He's been very depressed. And I told him, I was like, you should go to therapy. And he was like, nah. Running. That's my therapy. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting because sushi, that's my haircut. What the We need to treat depression like the disease that it is, right? Yes. You wouldn't tell someone with diabetes to run it off, because you need both feet.
Running does have many benefits for your emotional health, like endorphins and getting to brag to people that you run for your emotional health. But beyond running, there are many things we can do for our mental health. I had to find a therapist over Zoom, and that was weird because I felt like I was on chat roulette. I was just spilling my heart out to random strangers who also don't have bed frames. But at least on chat roulette, I could take my top off. My apartment doesn't have AC. I agree that more men need to be in therapy, but that would require them to get a girlfriend so they know what they need to work on. Like, before me, my ex-boyfriend wore bright green shorts, and he wasn't a comedian, so it definitely wasn't a bit. Thanks to me, my ex-boyfriend now wears neutral-colored pants, has a therapist, and a new girlfriend. Without my guidance, he would still be settling. Let's keep the show rolling with the very funny Brian Bahe.
Was anybody on OkCupid like back in the day? Same. I had a weird, like when I first moved to New York City, I was on OkCupid like quite a bit, and I had like a lot of anxiety about like online dating, and I had a weird OkCupid strategy, which is that I would create a profile and then just like immediately kind of like be in my head about that, and then I would not like log in for like 4 months. And then eventually when I would try to log back in, I would forget my password. And I also forgot the password to the burner email account that I used to create the profile. So I would just end up making an entirely different profile. And there was a point in my life where I did have 5 active profiles on OkCupid, and each one was much more vulnerable than the last one. Like when you make a profile, you're supposed to answer like fun, flirty questions about yourself. One of them is like, what's a typical Friday night for you? And the first profile I made for that question, I answered dancing. You know, I'm fun, whatever. By the time I got to the 5th profile for that same question, I answered, honestly, thinking about my family's history of mental illness and alcoholism. ... Like dancing though. I ended up just getting an 87% match with one of my other profiles.
I never tried OkCupid, but I did sign up for Match.com just to confirm to my credit card company that I wasn't doing great. You can't spend $75 at a Penn Station TGI Fridays the same day you buy a Match.com membership and not expect a call. A woman at American Express called and asked if my $125 charge to Match was me, and it was in that moment I knew it wasn't. I was like, you're right, Jessica, that wasn't me. That was a girl who was scared to be alone because she's not comfortable with herself yet. Anyway, she took the charge off so I couldn't use the membership. But the good news is that was 3 years ago and I still don't have a boyfriend. Coming up next is the very funny and very tall Luke Mones.
I've gone completely insane the last 18 months. Anybody else? Yeah. I want us, thank you, yeah. A couple crazy people in the front, good. I want us all to stop pretending like we haven't lost our minds, right? That was the craziest thing that's ever happened to anybody. I see people walking around New York like everything's normal. People are just glassy-eyed walking down the street like, I just had brunch in a plastic bubble in the bike lane. Everything is normal. I did this before. Oh yeah, the rest of the world's on fire. I experienced true loneliness the last 18 months. My actual circle of friends is much smaller than I thought it was. But I just had an omelet in the middle of the street. Oh yeah, I'm my old self again. I got my temperature taken with a laser. And then I had wings in the prison they put Magneto in. Put that guy in a plastic prison.
I would like to clarify, when Luke said insane, what he meant was he forgot he was performing on a mental health showcase and should be more sensitive with his language. While Comedy Central loves Luke, they do not condone words like crazy and insane. But that's the beauty of live performance. At any moment, a comic can offend anyone, and no one can correct them until they're off stage and it's too late. And I know to some people using crazy as a description is not that big of a deal, but as someone who went to rehab, I understand why we should avoid it. By using crazy and insane to casually label things you don't agree with or understand, you're trivializing mental health. Insanity can only be determined by a psychologist in criminal law, not by you in a bagel shop because they don't offer pepper jack cheese. And I know it's annoying that the liberals are taking so many words away from your vocab, but that's why we have Gen Z to put more back in. We're evolving. So stop dragging insanity, fam, because it hits different, period. Period. I think we should also cancel period. Period. Anyway, fam, up next is Gastor Almonte.
Reason I don't like having kids is because like they give you imposter syndrome, you know, like you don't realize until you have kids that you don't know shit. Because they ask you questions and you become aware you don't have answers. Like a while back, I was relaxing in my living room Saturday morning hanging out. My son comes out to the living room and he was like, yo, Dad, what do you know about tectonic plates? I don't know shit about tectonic plates. Judging from y'all initial response, I don't think y'all know shit about tectonic plates either. So I was like, tectonic plates? And he's like, yeah, Dad, we've been studying it in school. And I was like, yo, I'm sorry, little man, I don't remember covering that in 3rd grade. And he looked at me, he goes like this, psst, this guy. Like I'm the ass in this conversation so far. Then he goes down the hallway, knocks on his sister's door. My daughter's 10, and they come out to the living room. And they talked about tectonic plates for 15 minutes. In my face, you understand this? You know how stupid you feel? You watch your kids have a conversation you don't understand, and you pay the school that makes it possible. A 9-year-old gave up on me in my house. He tried 3 times to explain it to me. Then he looked at his sister. He was like, yo, he's not getting it. Before I let y'all go, I feel like I owe it to y'all. Tectonic plates. Are the things that move that cause earthquakes. And I'm saying it that way because that's how you had to dumb it down for me to join that conversation. Spend my time. Just keep it moving.
I don't need to have children to know I don't know anything about most things. In COVID, I joined a book club for the first time, and I showed up having read 1 chapter, which apparently is wrong. You're supposed to have read the entire book. I was still operating on a 3rd grade timeline. My friends were like, did you really think we were gonna spend 3 hours talking about 1 chapter? I was like, I gotta be honest, I didn't think we were gonna talk about the book at all. Enough about books. Up next is the very funny Julia Shiplett.
I've been dabbling in astrology a bit lately because I'm not well, and I am unfortunately a Gemini. Also known as a two-faced bitch, according to my birth chart and some other people. But what I like about astrology is that it sort of lets you surrender to something bigger than yourself, you know? A higher power. It's like religion in that way, right? You know, it reminds you you're not in charge of everything, and frankly, not everything is your fault, okay? For example, I know that the reason I can't really date anyone for more than 3 months has nothing to do with commitment issues. It's because I'm an air sign, you know? I don't have a fear of intimacy. I had an eclipse on my birthday. Do you understand? Like, I'm sorry my parents did it on a crisp fall day, and now this is my personality. Take it up with the sky. Take it up with the sky. I do like astrology. I just think it's best paired with some therapy on the side. I am in therapy. Anybody else in pain? Okay, good. I've been in therapy for a few years now, and I'll be honest, I was really scared to start. You know, I was skeptical. I don't come from a therapy family. We did not grow up talking about our emotions in my house. Okay, I'm the product of a religious immigrant and a real salt-of-the-earth Midwesterner. You know, those are two very different people who both happen to think therapy is witchcraft. They don't get it. They don't get it. My very Christian Chinese mom will say things to me like, why would you pay a stranger to listen to your problems? when the Lord's been listening for free this whole time. And then my German-Irish dad from Ohio will say things like, when I'm sad, I walk into the forest. And I don't come out till I feel better, so we just hope he returns soon. It's been weeks and we miss him a lot. I miss my dad.
Julia sounds exactly like my friend who, when I went to rehab, was like, yeah, it's cleansing time for you because you're 29 and the sun is dipping below the water and setting your past on fire. I was like, no, it's just time to admit I'm an alcoholic. I asked my therapist in rehab if he ever considered astrology with his patients, and he said no because he was educated. And I was very embarrassed. I was like, great, med school. He was like, no, elementary school. Moving on, give it up for Lucas O'Neill. Or don't, because he can't hear or see you.
It's so nice to have people to look at, because then you don't look at your phone. Isn't that nice? They make us sad, huh? I think our phones make us sad because they give us like too much information to process at once. Like you'll go to check the time, and your phone will be like, we've been expecting you. Yeah, we got 2 texts from your crush, okay? We got an Instagram comment from your ex. You're gonna need a sign for that. And we got a low balance alert in your checking. Nope. Savings. Nope. Both. Oh, and the planet is burning. No. Drowning. No. Both. Oh, and as for the time, you have less. And that's just the lock screen.
Sorry, I was just stalking my college boyfriend and his new girlfriend who seemed very happy together even though he said he'd love me forever 8 years ago. While I pull myself together, check out Alex Kumin.
We had to do a lot of Zoom comedy last year. Zoom comedy. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Zoom's a part of our lives now. Are we all using it? Yeah, we don't like it. But it's fine. It's what we have, right? I don't know. I think there's one positive thing that's come out of Zoom, and that is hearing these stories of these Zoom masturbators. Did you guys hear about? Okay, so there were a couple high-profile cases, like a New Yorker journalist, a couple other ones. These were people who were caught masturbating during work Zoom meetings. Men, obviously. I don't think I had to clarify that for anyone. But they all said the same thing when they got caught. It was an accident. It was an accident. Okay. An accident is when you spill a glass of water on the table. Not when you spill the contents of your onto gallery view, okay? If it's happening by accident, then it's too goddamn easy for some of you, okay? We need to give you a hurdle or something, just like a little crotch troll, just like, you may tug freely if you can answer these riddles 3. Because, like, ladies, can you imagine masturbating by accident? Ever? Do you know how intentional every step of the way is for us? For me to masturbate, I have to find a quiet space. Take off my pants, unless I'm wearing 15% Lycra or more. I have to find porn that makes me not want to turn myself into the authorities. I gotta get in the right headspace where I'm focused enough that I'm in my body, but not so focused that I forget that I need to pick up toothpaste today. I gotta get my vibrator to the exact right speed and angle that my needs in that moment, because I'll have it for a second and then there it goes like a balloon on a kid's wrist on a windy day. I gotta flip over. I gotta start the imaginary person between my legs. But then I hear the cartilage in my knees crack and I'm like, do I need to go on supplements? I gotta turn the porn off because everything available to us now is just stepmom, stepdaughter, stepson, young teen. I gotta redirect all my attention to a 1987 Harrison Ford dismissing me for class because that's the only safe thing in this world. And then I gotta silently so as not to disturb my neighbors. But yeah, I accidentally flicked it during the 10:30 All Staff. You guys are so fun and
To be honest, I needed the clarification that it was men. As a woman, I also get stressed out at work and need some relief. Granted, I would never do it on a Zoom call because I'm a professional. I would save it for OnlyFans and make a lot of money. Anyway, give it up if you feel like clapping at home, alone, for Aminah Imani.
I started therapy. I love my therapist. I can't really brag about her because she white. Yeah, white women, y'all not really in style right now. Y'all not really trending. But I love my white therapist. She real chill, laid back. I can tell she eat tree bark. She one of them. And I had to make sure she didn't vote for Trump. That was a whole scene. Oh my goodness. Up top, I asked her, I was like, did you vote for Trump? She hit me with the, oh my God, what? I was like, yes or no, Sherry? Yes or no? She's like, no way. I was like, all right, I'll see you next week, ally. Tell your friends they trash. I know me and my therapist are a great fit because we're both unprofessional. I love it. I tell her I love her. My friends are like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. But my therapist be laughing during my sessions. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. She be cracking up during our sessions. She's like, Aminah, you're just naturally funny. You're just naturally funny. I'm like, I naturally get paid for this. One more giggle, we even, all right? You came to work, I came to work. Give me $25 back, Sherry. Give me $25 back. Give me my money back. My friends are happy that I'm in therapy. My friends are excited. I could tell when I call them, I'm trying to vent, talk to them about my problems. They get straight to it. They be like, well, what did your therapist say about this? I be like, don't be cheating. Don't be a lazy friend. You know I need a second opinion. She's white. I had to go to therapy. I had to get my life together. I'm raising a kid. Yeah. Y'all see these abs? Y'all can clap louder than that.
Weird. My therapist's name is also Sherry, but she never laughs at my jokes. And I try. She's very serious and way too honest. She told me my main problem in life is that my expectations are too high. She's like, even for yourself, Hanna, they're just too high. You need to remember, you're never gonna be the richest person in the room, you're never gonna be the smartest person in the room, and you're never gonna be the best looking person in the room. I was like, hold up. There are only 2 people in this room, so what are you trying to say, Sherry? You don't have a neck. You're not hotter than me. Speaking of hot, here's Robin Tran.
Honestly, so I actually thought about suicide for almost every day for like 25 years. I thought about killing myself almost every day. And then 2 years ago, I found the right doctor and the right medication, and I'm cured. I have not thought about suicide for 2 years now. No depression. It's the greatest thing. It's actually, it's really, sincerely the best thing that's ever happened to me. The only downside is that this means that 2020 is the greatest year of my life. And I couldn't tell anyone. It was like winning the lottery on 9/11. You know, you can't celebrate too much. Why are you smiling? I swear to God, it's not that. I promise you, it's not that. It's been really a weird readjustment period, you know, being depressed my whole life and then not depressed anymore. I feel like depression is like a friend that is like holding on to me, you know, and it won't let go because it's like, come on, Robin, we're friends. I'm like, no, depression, get off me. I can't be with you anymore. Come on, Robin, let's just smoke weed and watch professional wrestling for 9 hours again. Come on, please, let's do it. No, depression, I can't watch wrestling anymore. I've watched all of it. I've watched all of wrestling. Come on, let's just off at 4 in the afternoon and take a nap. Come on, it's fine. We can do it. No, depression, get off. No, Robin, no. And depression. And I'm like, oh my God, oof. Oh, depression's finally gone. I can finally breathe. I can finally relax. And then I hear, pss, pss. I'm like, who's that? Is that depression? It's like, hey, it's me. It's ambition. I'm sorry, ambition. I don't think we've ever met before. What do you want? You gotta do something with your life, Robin. What did you just say to me? I gotta do something with my life. You're 35 years old, Robin. You gotta do something with your life. Ambition? Can I kill you too? Yeah, but if you kill me, then depression comes back. I'm like, oh, great. All right, ambition. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's like, I don't know, I'm ambition. I'm not direction. I'm like, oh. Thank you.
Wait. Off at 4 p.m. followed by a nap is depression? How do you think I prepared for this? I need a second opinion. I'm gonna call my doctor. In the meantime, here's Matty Ryan.
Yeah, flying sucks, dude. No one's cool. No one's stoked. No one's like, the airport, yes! No one. Everyone's a grumpy dick. No one respects boundaries. I think it's the worst version of all of us. And here's an example I came up with that I think well illustrates how air travel makes us all temporarily the worst version of ourselves. Say we're all on a flight right now, packed-ass plane, on the runway, next in line to take off. And some super old guy in the plane, like 100 years old, dies. And we have to go back to the gate.
All of us would be pissed, dude. All of us. So steamed about this poor old dead man. Like never else in your life would be like, a guy died? F that guy. On a plane? 200%, for sure. Even the most compassionate, empathetic person on that plane would be like, oh my God, somebody died. What happened? He was 101? Where the f was he flying to? I didn't even let him on the plane. Is he gonna parachute into a cemetery on the way to... Okay, sure. He could have died at home this morning or in the Uber on the way to the airport. He had to die on the runway. Yep, that guy's an old piece of shit. Okay. I hope his kids have to deal with some red tape to get this corpse out of here. It's like whoever's sitting right next to the dead guy and rang their call button to be like, hey, I think this guy's dead. And the flight attendant's just like, he is dead. We gotta go back to the gate. Everyone in earshot of that would be like, hey, way to go, dude. You chode, are you serious? You could have pretended like he was sleeping till we got to O'Hare. You had to ring your Cool, man. Half this plane is connecting flights to see their alive families. Did you think about that? Of course you didn't, because you're selfish, dude. Grow up. Sit next to a dead guy for 3 hours. He's not gonna do anything. Boost, he's not gonna with you, dude. He's dead. He's dead. You're good. No one dies and then their ghost stays on their flight. Like, that guy's gone, man. Don't point at him. He died silently like a man. This is your fault. You rang your dude. Are you gonna ask the pilot if there's any homework, you dork? Yeah. You're a dork, dude. Carry this dead guy out of here.
What a great bit from Matty, who so clearly rides basic economy. Did you guys know that babies are planted in coach so people are more likely to upgrade to first class? I read that in a Reddit article that I wrote. I flew first class once, and I don't have a joke about it yet, but I would like to say that on camera. Speaking of first class, here's Rebecca O'Neill.
I also deal with a little depression. We're gonna normalize being a bad bitch with depression because we out here, okay? Representation matters! Representation matters. I am a depressed extrovert though, that's unacceptable because my whole personality is like, everybody check out how sad I am. Don't nobody want to do that. I will get real with y'all though. Over the pandemic, it's the first time in a long, long time I've thought about getting back on antidepressants, okay? I haven't been on antidepressants in a decade. I'm older than you think, do not ask, okay? I told my friends this and they were really supportive. They just had a few questions like, okay, you were on antidepressants before. What did it feel like? Like, why do you want to get back on them? And I was honest. Being on antidepressants feels like your brain is being gentrified. That's what it feels like. It really does, because like the property value has gone up, but I don't recognize this place. Like, where's the liquor store? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the liquor store? Who fixed the sidewalks? Finally, wow, okay, interesting. There's white women jogging around my brain at night. Streets is dead. Streets is dead. I don't let depression stop my show though. Like I insist on having a good time. We insist on having fun. Yeah. I dress like this as is all cap. It's more like I like to do colorful outfits more as like poisonous tree frog. Like look at my color, stay the f away from me. But I meet a lot of men over the summer. They see the outfit and they're like, party girl, I understand this. Fast forward to spooky season, I'm like, surprise, I'm depressed. So every year like clockwork, I love it. Because here's the thing, it's like an emotional mullet. Like sadness on the inside, party on the outside. You feel me? Like, okay? And my style icon would appreciate this. My style icon is like, what if Fran Drescher from The Nanny were broken on SSRIs? I know you see it. I know you see it. Okay.
I also dress like a party girl, but that's only because rehab was so expensive, I can't afford to buy blazers yet. What do sober people even wear? Every time I wear a tube top out, I have to sniff my soda water to make sure the bartender didn't accidentally put tequila in it. I always have to clarify, I'm sober, I just wear body glitter as a choice. Let's keep things going with Clark Jones.
Yeah, I've been to therapy. They reel you in with that sliding scale bullshit. We'll make it commensurate with your income. I was like, all right, how much therapy can I get for $1? Just to see. Dude in the alley smoking a cigarette, giving advice. He was like, all right, Clark, I'm listening. I was like, all right, Frazier, I want to be happier. Gave me some wild advice. He told me, Clark, I want you to go see this musical called Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Anybody see it before? You saw it? I went to see Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Written by a white dude named Stephen Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim? Stephen Sondheim, top 5 lyricists. Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, Sondheim. Watch this. Watch this, black dudes. Who too cool for the reference? In the musical Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, character named Mrs. Lovett. Mrs. Lovett owns a pie shop. Can't afford real meat. Meat pies. She can't afford real meat, so she used the animals in the neighborhood. This is a white woman. I'm just painting the picture. I did that for you. In the song Worst Pies in London, these are real lyrics written by a white man named Stephen Sondheim, 1978. Mrs. Lovett has a pie shop. Does her business, but I noticed something weird. Lately, all her neighbors' cats have disappeared. Gotta hand it to her. What a course. Enterprise. Popping into pies. What? Popping into pies. Written by a white man. Stephen Sondheim was writing Cardi B lyrics before Cardi B was even born. Top 5. I was enthralled. I was taken. Tried to get some of my black homies on the south side of Chicago to go see Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. For the therapy. They was like, hell the f*** no, we're not going to see no Sweeney Todd, bro. Can't relate to no London musical. I'm like, bro, what you don't understand, you understand this. Sweeney Todd is about a barber with an attitude problem. Because a crooked judge won't let him see his daughter. And I'm like, bro, that sounds like every barber we've ever had on the south side of Chicago. All of them are mad at a judge and just want to see their baby girl. Like, you gotta go to therapy, man. This is gonna change your life, bro.
Some of the best advice I've ever gotten was in an alleyway. In college, I was extremely hungover, walking to a Jack in a Box in a sweatshirt from a guy I had just shacked with, And this woman with 3 shopping carts stops me and says I needed Jesus in my life. And she was right. To clarify, my friends and I use Jesus as code for Plan B, but this woman didn't know that. She just felt the Lord beginning the process of creation. Thanks for sticking with the show. Here's your last comedian for the night, Kenny DeForest.
So I talked to a therapist now, so I'm doing much better. Thank you. I think everybody should talk to a therapist. I really believe that. And especially men. We got to talk to therapists. But you got to give us some time. There's a lot of pressure right now. There's a lot of men will literally buy a motorcycle instead of going to therapy. And it's like, can you give me a minute? I was raised in the 90s and early 2000s. I was told reading books is gay. It's going to take a second to get to talking about my emotions. So now I go to therapy. I got diagnosed, actually. I got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder 2, which is dope. I caught the sequel. And you always want the second version of a thing. You know, you got to let them work out all the bugs. That was a weird diagnosis. I thought being diagnosed was going to be more helpful than that. You know, help me identify what causes my anxiety, what are my triggers. I was like, Doc, what do you think's making me so anxious? He was like, generalized? Does that help? Seems being alive really puts you on edge. I was like, tight, dude. Appreciate that. Basically, generalized anxiety disorder, what that means is that my brain is a bad detective. That's how I would describe it. I have a very confident bad cop living in my head. And he looks at all the correct evidence and then just makes the wildly wrong conclusion. So he comes in, he's like, all right, let's take a look at this case. What do we have here? Interesting. It appears when you enter a room, people tend to react warmly. Okay, they're often smiling. They say nice things about you personally and professionally. Not to mention there's always an outpouring of support when times get tough. Open and shut case here, everybody hates you. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates you, and it's the only thing they talk about when you're not around. I know, it's crazy. They actually meet up at coffee shops and talk about what a piece of shit you are. And the only way to make them stop would be if you message each of them individually on Facebook. Preferably at 3 a.m. so they know you're serious. And apologize for things that happened 15 years ago that only you remember. And I'm like, aye, detective. And so my buddy was asking me about therapy. He was like, what's it like? He's like, because he told me he had heard that therapy is like cleaning out your garage. He's like, it's like a big job. You shouldn't start till you're ready to see it through. Is that accurate? And I was like, I guess. I'd say it's more like this. It's more like you have a garage that you don't think is that dirty, and then people come over and they're like, hey, what the f*** is going on with this garage? And and you're like, hey, what if you didn't just come to my house anymore? And they're like, that's kind of what we're talking about. And so you finally agree to clean the garage. And so you go online, you find someone that specializes in your specific kind of garage. And then you pay them $100 a week to watch you clean your own garage. While they ask you very condescending questions. And you're like, what do you think this is? They're like, what do you think this is? I think this is highway robbery is what I think this is. And you don't even start cleaning the garage first. No. First, you got to go to that box you have buried in the corner of the garage. And you don't even know what's in there. You just know it's been there since you're a kid, and you don't want to know what's in there. And they're like, let's go ahead and pop that open. You're like, I don't even know your name. And they're like, nah, just do it. So you open the box, and you just fling the contents all over the garage. And then you spend 1 day a week putting exactly one item away, and the rest of the week hanging out in a now dirtier, scarier garage. So if that sounds fun, check out therapy. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't compare therapy to cleaning out a garage, only because who the hell has a garage? Kenny, you have a garage? I don't even have a separate room for my bed and fridge. See, men? Look where therapy can get ya. That's all the comedy we have for the show. We hope you laughed, or at least related to the jokes you heard tonight. As much as we joke about mental health, it is important to take care of it so we can joke about it. For ways to take care of your own mental health and support others, visit mentalhealthishealth.us. And most importantly, or just as importantly, follow me on Instagram @HansDicky, where I post tweets about rehab and other things that deeply upset my mother.